Oh well, this is Brian again. Today we're gonna do something. Oh, it's something I guess is helpful. We're gonna take a look at MT4 a little more in depth. What I notice with a lot of my students is they know how to get MT4 open and running, but they really don't know anything about some of the features that's built into it. So we're gonna take a look at some of the things you can do with MT4 to make your life simpler, and some of the things maybe you didn't know were out there that are available to use with it. The first thing we'll take a look at, I got a whole list here, is what are called profiles. So I trade London, Asia, and US, but I don't always trade the same charts. If you look down here at the bottom, I got a bunch open. So how do I just instantly load up my charts for that session? So is what you do is you go up to top, file, profiles, and if you look, I got US session, Asia session. So let's click, and I'm on tutorial 1 right now, but let's go ahead and click on US session and see what happens. Now it might take a minute because I got a ton of charts running, but if you notice it's opening up charts for me. And this takes a minute to load because again, a few of the indicators I use are pretty resource intensive. But basically what this allows you to do is switch to the charts that I trade. So right here now, if we look, file, profiles, on US session, and the chart's changed down here. So if I go, and again, it'll take a minute. Let's go back to profiles, go back to tutorial 1 because I got a blank chart set up there for what we're going to be running in a bit. And again, if you don't run a lot of indicators, this happens pretty quick, but two of the indicators I use are pretty heavy on resources because they go back and look at the chart's past history. But you just give it a minute, blah, 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 it'll kick in. While it's doing that, some of the other things we do, I'm going to be showing templates, how to use shortcut keys to pop up indicators. And if we look now I'm back to where we started. Okay, we're going to go through drawing tools, the crosshair tool, how to use the control key with the lines you've drawn on it. We're going to look at the history and volume, full screen, and how to bring up navigator, and how to reset chart sizes. Okay, so that pretty much covers profiles. So how do you create a profile? You go to profiles, pretty easy, save as, and tutorial 2. My charts are now saved exactly as they're set up. Pretty easy. Next thing we're going to do is, let's see, let's go look at the drawing tools. Your drawing tools are up here. They let you do a number of things. For instance, if you want to draw a support line, there's your support line. How do you edit it to change the way it looks? Double click it, and you'll see these little dots. And right click, go to horizontal line properties. White, whatever you want to make it. Pink, dashed, fat. If you do anything other than the narrow one, these other little options aren't available. So click it, and there we go. So if you want to get rid of it, you double click it. Make sure you have the little dots on each side. Maybe they're a little easier to see now. And hit your delete key. Gone. What else with drawing tools? Trend line. So let's take a look. I'm just going to draw one. Nothing fancy. And let's say this was our trend line. So there's a trend line. Now, nice little trick on it is if you double click, if you hold down Control and click it, double click it, it'll, at the same angle, it will duplicate it, and then you can draw what we'd refer to as a channel. So it's a nice, easy way to draw a channel. I'm not drawing these correct, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to demo them, show you how to use it. So again, all you have to do is hold down Control, double click, and you'll know it works because you get the dots, and we get exact same angle, so you can draw channels. Pretty easy way to do channels. And let's remove these from here. Again, double click, hit delete, delete. So that covers the control key with, and it works on horizontal lines also, just to see. There it is. Control, double click, and drag. Yay. Alright, so let's get rid of those. Next thing we're going to look at, up here you have several tools. You have oval, rectangle, Andrew's pitchfork, arrows. There's more than this available. I mean, I have some on here that you probably don't see normally, text label, things like that. But if we right click and go into customize, it also has all these available for you. So if, for instance, one that I use, Fibonacci expansion, do insert, and now it's here, and it's putting it beside the arrows. But let's say I want it all the way up at the top beside the cursor and below crosshair. Now if we look, it's moved it here. So it gives you an opportunity. You can go through, if you have a tool that you like to use a lot, just right here it is, you do it to insert, it moves it over, then put it in the order you want. Sorry about that. Okay, close that. It wants me to take a trade. Let's see, what else do we got on here? Let's look at templates. I've shown this before, so I'm just going to cover it real quick. If you go into here, template, and we can load up a template. Again, mine take a minute because I'm using, like I said, two indicators that are pretty heavy on resources. But what a template allows you to do is just basically load up your settings on an individual chart instead of all the charts. Now, profile will load up all the charts, whereas a template only loads it up for one chart. Okay, and there we go. You can, sorry about that. Let me do something real quick. There you go. You can see it loaded up a template, and it wants me to take a trade here. It thinks price is going to go up. Okay, so what else can we cover? In your drawing tools, one of the ones I like to use is the crosshair. Pretty simple. You have to click on it. Now, let me click, and it's gone. Now, if you notice, my mouse isn't going to move. Now, if you have a mouse with a mouse wheel in the middle, if you just push down on that mouse wheel, you get your crosshair. So what can we use the crosshair for? Well, the crosshair tells us a lot of things, actually. If once you, let's say we want to see how far the movement is from here to here. Lunch must be ending because the market's waking up, so we'll try and ignore those. But let's go ahead. I'm going to hold the mouse down here, and you see as it's drawing a line. Now, the screen might be small, but hopefully you should see it. It says 14.54, and then it shows where the price is at, exactly where I'm at now. So let's go down to here. So what this is telling me is 5.1112 and the price where I'm currently at. The first number is the number of candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've known that it's been 5 candles, and in that 5 candle period, we've had 11.1 pips. Now, when you let go of it, it disappears. So it's good for checking things. I use it in conjunction with Fibonacci just to get a better idea. I'll explain later in some of my videos. But the crosshair is an excellent tool to use. Now, again, you may not use it, you may, but I really like it. What's some of the other things we can do just on the screen that you may not notice on a daily basis? If I hold my mouse over here, over a candle, let's take a look. We're going to be looking down here, just so you know where I'm looking at while I'm talking. So let's look at the previous candle. What do we have down there? We have first the time, 2013, 11, 6, 1945. Oh, that's for open. The candle opened at 91108. Its high was 91116. Its low was 91091. Its close was 91094. And lastly, the volume was 88. On a 5-minute candle, that's about average. So that's just a little bit of information you might not have known it was on the screen, or you might not have known what the heck it was. Okay, so next, let's say you have a favorite indicator you like to use. Like, for instance, I have one, it's a horizontal line alert. Now, is what I've done, and I'll show you, again, I'm not going to touch anything. Here's my mouse so you can see it. I'm going to hit my key. I'm going to click OK. There's my horizontal line alert. Basically what it does is when price hits it, it gives me an alert. That's how I set levels on my chart. So I would put it, I don't know, up here if I wanted it to alert, or if I was looking for price, if it breaks down lower than that, I put it there. When price hits it, the alert goes off. So how did I get that with a keystroke? Because your price, normally your indicators are in the navigator window. So let me remove that. Again, let's real quick. Here's a shortcut we can use. Open up the navigator window. Hold down Control, press the letter N. Here's our navigator window. So let's take a look. I have, that one was called Alert. Alerter 2. So here it is. So how did I get that from the navigator window onto my chart with just a key press, a keystroke? We would right click, and if you look here, it says Set Hotkey. If we go to Set Hotkey, if we look now, I have it set as Alt A. You can do this with any type of indicator you want, and that way it's hotkeyed to you. Makes it a lot easier, especially for something like a horizontal line alert, or let's say you like Fibonacci's but you don't like them on the screen all the freaking time. If you have a Fibonacci indicator, you can do it like an auto fib, one that draws them for you. You can use it to drop it on there. Unfortunately, you still got to manually remove it, but I'm a lazy butt, so any little bit of I cannot talk. Anything that'll save me a little bit of time, I like, especially when I just want to drop it on and move on to the next chart, because I don't want to sit there and watch. And God, setting an alert for time through MT4 is a nightmare. It is just, these will not shut up. It is just a pain in the butt. So it's an easy way to do things. So if you have a favorite indicator but you don't like it on your charts all the time, set a hotkey for it. Save you some time, save you a headache. Let's see. Let me look at my list, see what else we got on here. I mentioned volume, so let's take a look. We go up to Tools, History Center. So yeah, what do you ever use it for? Let's take a look at it. Well, there's Euro. The History Center shows open, high, low, and close of each candle. This is a 1 minute. You can tell by the volume levels. How do you look at it? You'd go to 5 minute. Now, discussing volume, and I guess this is off the subject, but on a 5 minute chart, what I look for, this is how I check for the Aussie session when I get in. Because when the Aussie session opens, volumes are very low. What I typically look for is the average here to be 75 to 100. Once I start seeing volumes dip below 100, it's really not the best time in the world to be trading. There's not that. Volume is the, I mean, it's self-explanatory, but the amount of orders and things coming in. If there isn't a lot, that means one person could drop a large order and really affect the market. So you want volume to be up there before you trade. I'm sorry that's a little bit off subject of MT4, but just thought I'd toss that in there. So pretty easy. Now let's say you're back testing. One of the other purposes it has is you want to download data. So you want to back test. This is how you get data for a chart if it doesn't have it in there. You click download. It says you're going to download data. You hit OK. And no new data because I back test on this one, so I keep mine up to date. But what we would actually do then is it would download previous history into your charts so you can back test. I've done a video on the MT4 simulator. That allows you to go back months and months, and you can play on a simulated market or, again, back test. That pretty much covers the history. For those of you with a small monitor, let's take a look. Anything you can do. F11 on your keyboard. F11 will go full screen for MT4. So if you don't have quite enough space, it might give you a little bit more to make you happy. F11 again to turn it off. Down here at the bottom, we have each one of the charts I look at. Now, what happens if those disappear or if you don't currently have them on it? Let's go up to View, Charts bar. We take that away, they're gone. Oh no, I can't switch charts. So if it ever disappears on you, that's where it is. There we go. Let's see, we covered full screen. We got navigator with Control N, history. We did the lines. Let's say adjusting your chart, zoom in, zoom out. You have it up here. Everyone knows about the plus and minus, but down here at the bottom where it shows time and date, hold down your left-hand mouse key, slide it left, zooms out, slide it right, zooms in. Oh, that's ugly. Number pad. If you have your number pad and you press the number 5. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna, oh, and on the right hand side where it shows price, left click, you can close your charts, open your charts. I personally, I'm not going to say I'm blind, but I might not have the best vision in the world as I get older. I like to adjust my charts as I go, it just to make things nice and pretty for me so I can get a general picture. Now let's say you totally mess a chart up, so let's do this. And you don't want to sit here and scroll through it again. Number key on, press the number 5. Resets the chart back to its default settings. Pretty helpful. Gets you back to about where you'd want to be normally. Trying to think. We covered just about everything that I wanted to. Hopefully some of these shortcuts will help you with MT4. If you have any questions or anything else on it, as normal, give me a shout. I hope you enjoyed the video and hope you picked up a few things on MT4 that'll speed things up or make life easier for you. And I'll see you all next time.